I'm Jen with Vancouver Island Car Seat Techs. I'm going to show you how to install a forward-facing infant-child seat. So first I'm going to decide on my installation method. We'll do seatbelt this time. This is set up already for the size of the child. Some seats you cannot adjust the harness height once it's installed, so you want to make sure that it's at the correct height before you do your installation. You need to read your manual. You need to read your vehicle manual because there are a couple of things with this type of installation that are not immediately obvious. With this particular vehicle, I'm going to remove this headrest. My vehicle manufacturer allows it, and taking it off gets it out of the way from interfering with the top of this seat. I'm going to stow this somewhere, not in my van, so it does not become a projectile in a crash. So now when I position the seat here, it sits flush and there's no gap, it's not leaning awkwardly. So I am set to install. I'm going to check and see how my seatbelt locks. I'm going to pull my seatbelt all the way out. And once I hear that clicking, I've engaged the lock, and I give it a little tug to make sure that yes, it does lock at the retractor. So that is how I will use it to lock the seatbelt for installing. I'm going to know which belt path I'm using. This belt path here is for rear facing. I'm doing a forward facing installation. I will use this belt path here. You feed your seatbelt through, no twists, folds. And buckle it in, and just double check that nothing is twisted or out of place. Once it's rooted properly, I will engage the lock on the seatbelt, and now I will tighten it. Many seats have some sort of access to the belt to get the proper angle to tighten it. This one has a gap right here, so I'm going to reach down through there. I'm going to put a knee in the seat. I'm not putting my full weight on the seat. I'm just pressing down into the corner to press down and towards the back as I pull up on the seat belt and remove the slack in the shoulder belt. And then I will check for tightness. I want to check at the belt path. It doesn't matter if it moves here, it doesn't matter if it moves here. I'm checking right here at the belt path. And that's a little bit too much movement, so I'm going to tighten it up some more. Again, knee in the seat. And a little bit more slack out of the shoulder belt, that ought to do it. So that's good. So at the belt path, there's an inch or less of movement. Up here it moves, that's fine. So that part is complete. Now I'm going to attach the top tether. All top tethers in Canada look like this. And for most vehicles, you're going to want to orient your hook like that. There are a handful that direct you specifically to flip it upside down. You will need to read your vehicle manual to know. Also to know where to connect it to. Some are easy to see, some are not easy to see. This particular one is underneath the captain's chair and you can't actually see it. Some are marked, newer vehicles are marked with an anchor. So I'm going to do that now. I don't want any twists in the belt or in the strap, and I want to make sure it's firmly attached to a designated anchor point. You can't just connect it to random things in the back of your vehicle. It needs to be crash tested to know that it will hold in the event of a crash. And then tighten your top tether. You just want to take the slack out. You don't need to put your full body weight into it, but take all the slack out and then stow any extra strap, tuck it behind somewhere just so it's not a tripping or strangulation hazard. And there we go, forward-facing installation with a seatbelt.